Hey everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast. Here with your hosts Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford. Quick shout out to all our listeners and supporters over these last 2+ years. Big news is a couple months ago, we hit 50 states, all 50 states in the U.S.
I slacked a little bit on looking at the numbers, and I went back last week and saw that we hit all 50. We finally got the one we've been waiting on. We've been sitting on like 48 for quite some time, and we got it. And I wanted to make sure we said thank you to everybody.
Mm-hmm. And you have a top 10, right? Don't you want to get in?
Yeah. Top 10 outside of California.
Yeah.
Right. California obviously is the majority of our audience. 87% in the last year has come out of California. So there's 13% out there in the world, not just the United States.
Yeah.
But the top 10 outside of California, which the list might surprise you. So I'll start. I want to ask because I want to shout these people out. You know, they download.
As you should.
Yeah. I want to give them some due. I think it's awesome. I love it. It was really fun to go back and see where it's coming from and who's listening where. So to all of you, thank you, especially even the ones that are not on this list, but just the top 10. Number 10 was Florida, and the cities there that most download, Fort Myers and Jacksonville. Washington is number 9. Everett, Washington, shout out Everett, and Seattle. Number 8, you had Oklahoma. And the cities cities there were Edmond and Tulsa, most downloaded.
Shout out Tulsa, baby.
That's your old stomping ground.
Oh yeah,
The Tulsa's fun, dude.
Tulsa is fun.
I've been there one time and it was a blast.
I was there for a while.
Couple years.
I went to school there.
Couple years.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a blast.
Number 7, Illinois. Great state of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago is the top spot in Illinois.
Chi-Town.
And Edwardsville.
Edwardsville is near, I played in Sauget, Illinois. It's near there. It's a nice little small town.
How about this? Number 6, New York. Shout out New York. They're Huntington, New York. Brooklyn, and the Bronx were tied. Not a ton.
Yeah.
But a good amount. I was kind of surprised. So shout out the Bronx, Brooklyn. Thank you guys. Number 5, South Dakota. Brookings was the most downloaded area there, and Sioux Falls. Number 4, Colorado. You have Loveland and Denver, Colorado. So thank you guys. Number 3 was Virginia. And Washington, Virginia was the spot there.
I've never heard of Washington, Virginia.
Washington, Virginia. It was actually a lot. So whoever's there, thank you guys.
Yep.
Number 2, Arizona. Phoenix was the big one there. And again, another good amount of people listening in Phoenix. So thank you. And number 1 state outside of California is the great state of Texas. The top spot in Texas was Dallas. Just below Dallas was Austin. And then Plano, Southlake, Houston, Arlington were tied. And Fort Worth, Argyle, and Keller were in there. And then Lubbock was just below that. So thank you to all you in Texas. That was it was cool to see. You know, we were looking at it before we started. So we appreciate everybody listening. It's pretty cool.
Not many people can say they're in all 50 states.
I
know radio stations can't do that. Local radio stations can't do that, and and
I know
you know where I'm going.
I know it's 30 plus countries, and
yeah,
it's cool, man. It's fun to see that stuff. We just want to say thank you to everybody that does download and listen. All our guests. I mean, ultimately, those are the people that make it happen.
Yeah, 100%.
So we really appreciate it, and we've got more stuff coming, more good guests coming. So it was pretty cool to see that. We wanted to just pay a tribute to all of you that support us.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, getting into, we're still in the midst of the Olympics.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't even. How's it go? Dun, the Olympic song. I should know, but I'm kind of mad at the Olympics right now.
We'll get well, I'm going to ask you why in a second, but just again, a little update is that the female soccer team, the national soccer team, is out.
That sucks.
They lost to Canada, and our local Jenna Prandini.
Well, no, we had a local soccer player
yeah,
too.
that's right.
She scored a goal against, I think it was,
I saw that.
I want to say the Netherlands. I'm not sure, but when the 1-0 game, she scored the lone goal.
Jenna Prandini did not make the 200 final, so I think she's out. But fun watching her, man. Those runners it's insane.
Yeah,
like I love the way they pan with them as they run down to the finish. It's pretty cool just to see them go. And then you had a local boxer from Tulare, Richard Torres Jr. Has got a chance at a gold medal in the super heavyweight class. First time in, over 20 years. Riddick Bowe was the last to do it in 99. So that semi is Wednesday. 98. So, yeah, some local people representing the states in the Olympics. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, DeChambeau was going to represent in golf, but then had a positive COVID test. So he had to get out, which kind of sucks. That would have been cool because he's very competitive. I know he loves like the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup and stuff. So it would have been nice to see him compete.
A lot of low scores too, man.
It was. So, I mean, the course was playing,
And Xander Schauffele is your gold medalist in golf, representing the United States. United States. That 18th hole was pretty. I mean, it was to do what he did out of the bunker and pro shot, and then just sink a par putt up a stroke. It's pretty cool, man. The question with that: should a caddy also be awarded a medal?
Oh, yes, I like that.
I saw it on Twitter, and I thought this is a fantastic question.
100%.
So the golf winner and the caddy.
Yeah.
Should the caddy win a medal?
Oh, heck yeah.
Because I don't think they do.
Do you know how much decisions the caddies make too? Like in that whole thing? Like, I don't really know how much, but it seems like they do.
Well, they do on the tour, right? On tour, they're
all the information they have. Just think the amount of work a caddy goes into about going out to the course when nobody's on it. Probably rolling balls on the green. Probably getting his steps because they can't use like rangefinders like everybody uses out there. They have to use their steps. So this bunker is 150 yards, and they pace to a place where, hey, I know Xander hits the ball this far. So you know how much crap they're doing. And then their book where they're keeping all the information and stuff, and have to help out Xander with reading putts and the distances and all that. For sure, especially in a thing like this, he gets a cut of the money when they win a normal tournament. Right. So in a place like this, that's even though it's an individual in Xander Schauffele, it's a team because he wouldn't do it without his caddy. I mean, let's be honest, golfers wouldn't be able to do what they do without their caddies. They help them huge.
I agree.
So what did they?
I don't know. I don't think they do. Because why would you ask that question if they did? And that question,
I don't know. You asked that question.
That's what I'm saying. I saw that on Twitter yesterday, and I was like, "Ooh, this is a great question."
We'll have to put that out there on Twitter too.
Yeah. Do you think the caddies should also be awarded a medal? I think so.
If you say no, just don't answer.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I think that's something that the Olympic Committee should address.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely need medals for your caddies.
Come on.
In the high jumping competition, the high jump, you had Italian high jumper and the high jumper from Qatar share a gold medal.
No.
I
don't know. I don't like that. But I guess because before we did this, I was like, no, like I was thinking about it. Now I've been thinking about it. In swimming, it would be a tie.
True.
You can't have them do a swim off.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, but the thing is with high jump, what's one more jump? Like, it's easier to just go do one more jump than it is to do another swim.
So they both cleared a certain height. It was like 7'9", by the way. It was insane.
Cake.
Roll out of bed and just pound a 7'9". They both cleared a certain height, and then they both faulted 3 times on the next height.
Yeah.
And instead of going, they have the opportunity to do a jump off. Both have to agree on it. And instead, they both agreed to just share the gold medal.
So do they cut it in half?
Of course they don't.
Oh, you just have two gold medals
two
for high
gold
jumps
medals,
ready to go?
and then there's a bronze. So you have 2.
Oh, so the person doesn't even get a silver?
There's no silver.
I'd be mad if I was the bronze guy.
So-
I'd be like, hold up.
So basically, if
they're
you're-
1, I'm 2, but I get a bronze?
So the third place guy would get the bronze, and the first 2 guys, the guys that are sharing the gold, get the gold. And
They should have cut the silver and gold in half and put them together.
I mean, that's actually, they could have done that. That's funny.
Like, what? Wait, hold on. You guys shared first and second place. There you go. Because technically, that's what it is.
Yeah.
If the guy gets a
or
bronze.
Or the fourth place guy gets bronze.
But that doesn't make sense because in the tournament, like if you, I guess they have a shoot off at the end, but so there's not really a tie in golf or whatever. But I don't know. I just think if there's no silver medal, why don't you just give the bronze guy a silver medal?
What is the jump off? What would the height be? Because they both did the extra height and they both failed it.
Yeah,
3 times.
Maybe go back down and do that jump.
And whoever
again.
does fails that one.
Yeah, or jump till you fail. But then that's a lot of jumping.
Just a good old rock paper scissors.
Hey,
2 out of 3.
Rochambeau.
Let's go. Right? A lot of people didn't like the thought of them sharing it. I think they were both. I mean, they were both very excited. If you watch the clip,
Who wouldn't say
they both agreed to it. I think they both came back from injuries, and like it was a special moment. I think.
But who would say, you know what? Yeah, let's have a jump off for silver. I mean, or just go be for sure get a gold. You know what I mean?
It's hard to, because in baseball there is no tie. I mean, other than in the regular season, I guess.
There's no tie in any sport.
In football, there is.
No, you have overtime.
Yeah, but if you finish that period,
Yeah, they need to change that. They need to do
overtime,
college rules.
it ends in a tie.
They need to do college overtime rules. But that's a different subject.
I'm just saying, like, it's a cool story. It was a cool moment.
Yeah.
But also,
I'm more mad the bronze guy didn't get silver. That's what I'm more mad. You
So
shared
you
a
get
gold.
fourth
That's
place?
full of shit, guys.
you give 4th place the bronze medal.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Why not?
Or
He's
that-
technically third place.
Or just go give it to the caddy of Xander.
What, you give him the silver medal?
I guess. Or just spray paint it gold real quick. I don't know. Dip
They
it.
have, if they're having medals given out too, they have medals ready to go.
I wanted to get your take on that.
That actually makes more sense. You brought it up better. Like, okay, then the 4th place guy gets bumped to 3rd.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That's awesome now. Instead of having
because
2 golds and a
technically he
bronze,
finished
it makes no
3rd.
fucking sense.
He finished 3rd. If those guys shared 1st place, then you had a 2nd place and a 3rd place still.
Yep, I agree.
Interesting. Yeah, it was just 2 golds and a bronze medal. And then moving on to baseball. Baseball goes 4-0, or I think it's 4-0. They went undefeated in their pool.
Couldn't tell you. I never even seen it on TV.
Which is that why you're upset at the Olympics?
I'm not just upset about the baseball. There's no baseball on. It's like, I get it. The Olympics are played in the middle of the night. I know the Olympics are played in the middle of the night. Yeah, you were watching reruns of the softball. Why can't we watch reruns of the baseball? I'm tired of watching the reruns of non-countries playing.
Well, and they aired tennis.
I can't watch horses dancing for too long.
The equestrian. You had different countries, so like for tennis, every tennis match I've seen, it's other countries. I think because the
U.S. is out.
Got knocked out. But same with like the rowing stuff or the canoeing. I saw the basketball game, the women's basketball last night it wasn't the U.S. playing.
Yeah, and if it's not U.S., I'm not watching basketball. Well, I'm not watching basketball anyway.
And then the men's, I saw that you could stream on Peacock.
I don't know. Can you do the baseball on Peacock? I don't know. I feel like the MLB Network did a bad job about not getting rights to the Olympics because the PGA,
it's
the
NBC.
golf, the Golf Channel got the rights, and they were playing it on Golf Network.
Well, maybe they might be affiliated with NBC somehow though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, figure it out.
I'm not sure they might.
And that's another thing. We got what, 3 or 4 channels of Olympics going on. But then we have like 200,000 reality shows that mean absolutely nothing. Like, come on, it's the Olympics. If you're gonna, let's have more channels for people to watch.
Yeah, there's
stuff.
zero baseball.
Zero baseball. Good for them. I don't even know.
I've been hearing too that a couple guys have come out and say this Olympic the ball needs to get to the big leagues. The pitchers love and the hitters.
Oh well, it's probably a KBO ball.
I'm not sure.
Remember they were talking about that.
I'm not sure, but I've seen a couple, even some of the pitchers on the U.S. teams, that this is the best baseball they've ever thrown.
Wow.
And, they need to get with Major League Baseball.
But is it better for the pitchers?
Apparently, hitters like it, too. They've had no complaints, and they've had a lot of support for whatever baseball they're using. So, and I just saw that today.
Yeah.
So,
good.
Interesting to see going forward if they maybe work on something to get a different ball for these guys. I know it's been a shit show, 2021 MLB. Having said that, you had the MLB trade deadline and last Friday. Best trade deadline ever since you've followed the trade deadline?
It's one of.
I couldn't.
It's pretty good.
I didn't even bother to research past trade deadlines. To see.
I mean, I think
it was very active and a lot of people moving late, and there were some.
I think the Verlander one's up there because he came over. They won a freaking World Series.
But I mean, you had that with multiple teams.
True.
Right, so you had the Cubs unload.
Yeah, they have one guy from their World Series team, the catcher,
Contreras.
Yeah.
So you had Rizzo to the Yankees, you had Baez to the Mets, and Chris Bryant to the Giants. All have had decent games. I think all debuted with home runs. That's rough, man. You've seen a lot of people talking about how be grateful for what they brought to Chicago.
Yeah.
But it's got to be hard to see them leave. I mean,
I feel bad for David Ross.
Yeah,
he has no control over that. Now he's got a team full of minor league guys and guys that haven't really proved themselves yet. And, are they going to allow him to fail as a manager? Because, they're obviously in a rebuilding state now.
Yeah.
So are you going to, you're going to have to take that into consideration when the season ends the way it does. Because we talked about it, they probably have no shot of getting in the playoffs.
0.0.
Yeah.
They will fall into that category.
And plus, David Ross played with those guys on that team. So he was close with every single guy that just left. Like, not just as a coach or a manager. He was a personal.
You know what, though? But I don't think their expectations are, well, one, they weren't in contention.
Yeah.
Right? So it's, you got guys coming up for free agency. Like, it's time to move guys. I get that. And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
So it gives him a chance now to maybe screw it. We can throw these younger guys into the fire and see if anything sticks. Maybe we catch lightning in a bottle with some of the youth that they have.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Yeah.
Some guys are going to get more at bats, which is ultimately what you want. Some guys are going to get more innings that wouldn't have gotten innings. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it may be, while the record may not be phenomenal and you're not going to see them win a World Series in 2021, you might see some guys show out that find a spot for the future.
Yeah, I know definitely the minor league guys are probably excited in the organization because now there's openings. There's chances and opportunities. So, and that's you talk to any big leaguer or any minor leaguer, that you have to have something like that happen. Yeah, somebody has to get hurt. Somebody has to get traded. Somebody has to, you know what I mean? That's like where the opportunities open up or the doors open up. So a lot of those guys are probably excited to get that opportunity.
Right. No, 100. Yeah, you're right. And then you got the Nationals kind of did the same thing. I think more so the Dodgers went out and just added more to their already deep team.
Did they add enough? Did they add the right people?
Yeah, I think so. So Max Scherzer and Trey Turner, who, again, and we've talked about it before, quietly putting together another monster season.
Trey Turner.
Yeah, very underrated.
Yeah.
Did I say Justin Turner?
No. I was just
I just
because Scherzer puts up a good year too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Year, so.
Yeah, you look what he's done under his contract I think he had a 7-year deal, and what he accomplished in 7 years that was worth every penny.
Yeah,
they got every dollar out of him, he's a big game guy. I love watching him go, because I don't think Bauer's going to pitch at all this season. I think he's done. He might even be. I don't know what's going to happen with that situation.
Well, we don't even know where he's at. His whole everything just stopped. So
yeah, well, I don't blame it, and as it should. If we're going to be quite honest. Boy, you saw that one from a mile away, didn't you? Back to the Dodgers. My question is and because I haven't really paid attention since they come over. Trey Turner
Gonna play second.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. It's hard. Seager's good at shortstop.
I've talked to some Dodger fans, some buddies. I think Trey Turner's a better shortstop.
But Seager's too big to play second. So then do you move Justin Turner to second and Seager to third? That's the hard part about a new guy coming into a team that's established. Just saying, hey, Corey, we're moving you. Just like moving two guys for one.
Not to say that Seager cannot play. He's
fine. He does fine.
He's a big league shortstop.
And Trey will do fine at second base, I think. That's a great infield. Look at that infield.
Well, and it keeps, you put Taylor in left, right?
Yeah, Taylor be in the outfield. Then you got Bellinger and Muncy probably splitting time at first or in the outfield. I mean, I know Bellinger's batting under 200, but
I think Betzel is off the DL now.
Yeah, he had a home run the other day. And that's a good squad. If you put, you got Bellinger's in center healthy, you got Mookie, and then you got Chris Taylor, and then Turner, Seager, Trey Turner, Muncy.
Do you think they win the World Series? Do you pick them to win the World Series?
I don't. I don't
either.
Because I like the Yankees' moves better.
Adding Gallo
and Rizzo.
Did they added some more? Didn't they or no? I don't even know.
They added Henny, I think, from the Angels, a pitcher, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at his ERA." And I was like, "Yeah, but look what team he's playing for." I mean, yeah, his ERA is bad, but can you imagine coming out and going 3 up, 3 down, then going back out? Like you have no time to rest when you have you're getting no run support. So
no, I agree.
I think with him going to the Yankees, he's going to be a better player. And a lot of people like that, like a fresh start. And you're going to a contender. When you're going to a contender, you kind of get that feeling of you're wanted and you want to, okay, now it's time to fucking go. I mean, not saying that they don't think that when they're with their
every
other team,
day, right?
But
Well, you've said it in the past. It's like, especially with Trout, right? It's hard to play for a team that's not competing for a division win, let alone get in the playoffs.
That's why
the guy puts up MVP numbers year to year.
That's why it's ridiculous that he does what he does, playing for a non-contender every year.
Yeah,
I think that's why I think it's harder to do that. Because how do you go to the ballpark knowing you're going to lose?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he knows that, but you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to the playoffs again, but I'm still going to go, 2 for 4, 3 for 4.
I know the A's made some moves.
Mm-hmm.
And then our very own, our guy who we just talked to last week, Jordan Luplow, who was we talked about the Guardian name change, and in a matter of days, he's now with the Tampa Bay Rays, and I love it.
I think they listened to our episode.
They could have,
and they're like, you know what,
this is a guy.
He's not really a Guardian. He seems more like a Ray.
I'm with you. I'm excited for him. I know it's I remember talking with him the first time from the Pirates to the Indians, just how tough it was. And he mentioned, how Joe Musgrove really helped him mentally through that situation, to have a home. And Cleveland loved him.
Yeah.
The fans loved him. I mean, he's just a good dude. But I'm like you said a minute ago, to go to contender. Yeah. You got to be a little excited that, hey, this group thinks I can help their team win.
And I mean, they gave up a prospect,
right?
A good pitching prospect for Loop, and I think one other guy. So yeah, I mean, he, feels wanted. Not saying he wasn't wanted in Cleveland, but you like going to somewhere where you're a contender, feeling wanted. Cleveland had a deeper outfield. I feel, for him to come back and get the playing time. He might be more of an everyday guy with the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't know. I don't know what their plans are for him, but I feel like going to a contender and having maybe a better opportunity.
Yeah, and I think they just added to their bench. They added to their outfield depth. Mm-hmm. They can platoon if they want, and they know what he's going to do against lefties. And then they go make that move with Nelson Cruz. Like, dude, the Rays, they've been on top of their game.
Mm-hmm. But Glass, no.
Yeah, he's out. Done.
That hurts.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
So now you might see some things going on now with them, because even though the trade deadline is over, there's still stuff goes on, after the trade deadline. So now I'm just trying to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, I know the Braves also made some moves with Duvall and
Jock Peterson before the trade deadline.
And the Giants, I feel like the Giants needed
Soler.
Yeah. I felt like the Giants though needed to do more arm wise.
Yes.
Like getting Chris Bryant's great, but I think to stay with LA, you needed to add some pieces to the pen or another starter.
Yeah. And I know people are like, well, look what we've done with them. Yeah, I get that, but it's halfway through the year. We still got half to go.
Still 2 months.
I mean, there's a lot of time left where bringing in a big arm, extra arm, would tell your team like, hey, this is for real.
Yeah, we're trying to win now.
Like, not saying you guys aren't winners right now and winning, but like, we're trying to get that extra push and edge, And Chris Bryant's a great player, and he's going to help out offensively. But like, getting that arm in there, somebody just come up and revamp. Like, I feel the same way as you. They should have added an arm.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was looking for there. I thought it's still going to be fun to watch how this all plays out.
When Tatis goes down,
yeah.
I mean, and they got Adam Frazier, which is really good, from the Pirates, but he was just an all-star.
Dude, they need some.
They need arm too.
Yeah, I mean, like Blake Snell's been pretty bad. He's not pitched well.
Yeah,
all year, not just recently. It's been all year. I mean, she's striking guys out, but the ERA's bad. He's not getting to the fifth. They're not quality starts. I don't know. He's been struggling. They need some help on that side of the game too. So again, it's still going to be fun to see down with those three teams in the division. Be fun to see how they go, and then you've got the East with New York and Boston and now Tampa. Well, Tampa's always in it, but with the moves they made,
yeah, it's gonna be.
I heard Boston was making a play for Scherzer, and then to see Kimbrel go to Chicago, it's another dangerous team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
They're quiet. They're quiet good, the White Sox.
Well, you see their manager's wheels? You see him take out the box there?
Yeah, he almost took out the box. Oh, man.
How did you feel about that? He jumped. Why was he jumping the catcher's ass?
I don't know about that. Like, him running out there, like, great. He just looked like an old man.
I just watched that part of it. I just like watching him run. He looked like he was on an elliptical running out to the home plate.
Like, no, his knees were bent but never straightened, and they like ran out there, and then yeah, like I could see that. Abreu's your guy. You want to like get out there and make sure he's okay. But then he got it right into Perez's face. It was the Indians, right?
Yeah.
Roberto Perez, I think, is the catcher. Got it right into his face and it's like, first of all, the pitcher's reaction and the catcher's reaction, you knew nothing. It wasn't, on purpose or whatever. And the catcher went right to Abreu on the ground, like, and called
he kind of just pushed him away, like,
yeah. And then La Russa came
get off my guy.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa, relax. Like, I think he went overboard there. But I mean, I don't know how many drinks La Russa had before the game. I don't know. I mean, I don't know this
happy hour in the clubhouse.
I mean, I love La Russa as a manager, and he was the Hall of Famer. So he just, I mean, I think it's time.
Him running was
it was funny.
I like the picture with his hat when they had the South Side unis on, and he just looked. Oh my god, dude! He's got a couple moments this year, but it'd be fun to see down the stretch. All these teams making moves, guys are going for it. I like what the Dodgers did. I think. I don't think you're going to have any problems with Turner playing in second. When Gavin Lux is back, what do? It's a young guy that's played okay. That probably should get some more ABs.
That's a good bench guy, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think you have to think that. I mean, you got 4 All-Stars in the infield now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So
pretty crazy.
5 was Will Smith and all. No, he wasn't. I don't know, but I mean, you got Buehler. Kershaw will be back. I know he missed his start this week, but then Scherzer. If they did get Bauer back, it would be really scary going in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you could.
But I don't think that's going to
I don't think he's coming back.
No.
Again, another podcast, another time.
Yeah.
But I know that's your boy, so.
It's my boy.
Bauer
outage.
Hey, last week in the old social media world, we kind of threw some stuff out there, and there were some good reactions to it. First was the Buchanan baseball team. We had a parent who's a big fan of our podcast and a huge supporter of ours, who always, gives feedback and has been around since day one. make a comment on YouTube regarding the parents or players had to buy their own rings for Buchanan's section titles. I like your shirt and hat.
Oh yeah, my shirt, the Madera Coyotes SEC champions,
Your
section
hat.
champions, and my hat, the section champions. Thanks for the gear.
I was genuinely surprised.
Oh.
When I saw that, and
I was too.
I think we said it on.
Because I don't even remember. My brother won one in '99 with Bullard. I don't think they paid for it either.
The players or
The players did. I don't think the players did.
the school.
I think the school or the boosters did too.
You know, I think
Which Sandrini
did
mentioned
say
in
something,
12.
yeah.
The boosters took care of it.
I was just surprised by that because I know, the image that Clovis Unified
Projects
puts out there for themselves, which is, and listen,
as it should be.
yes, they
do
win.
it right. Yeah, they win.
I mean, they back that up.
Yes.
The facilities, right? Every team comes down here and sees the facilities at Buchanan and Clovis West and Clovis High and Clovis East and North and Central, and
They're the best in
Yeah.
the state. The track has the best facilities in the state of California. Now there are some good ones in LA and some good ones up north.
but as a league as a whole,
as a whole,
yeah,
the track definitely is the premier.
I mean,
for
they're
facilities.
they're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're and so knowing that, and then knowing roundabout some of the fundraising that they do with these programs. I've seen
Uniforms.
yeah. On top of that, you got what 6 or 7 sets.
Well, I mean, Buchanan
Did
put out
the bracket,
put out a bracket on uniforms.
and I wasn't trying. It didn't want it to sound like an insult.
No.
I was just surprised.
Surprising. Yeah.
Because I can tell you, there's no way our kids were paying for rings this year. 0.
No. Well, we didn't in
And
13
in 13, we made sure that didn't happen either. And
But that's how it should be because
granted, this school's been around, Madera's been around 120 years, and there's 4 baseball championships, and one of them was in the 20s. So it's from 96 to now, there's been 3. You should take, I mean, that's an accomplishment.
yeah.
Regardless, it's an accomplishment, right? You ask the kids to buy in, to sacrifice, to, you know what I mean? To be team guys, to sell out, to do things the right way, to buy into the culture and the philosophy. That's the reward.
Yeah.
Then they do all that, right? And they go to the end of the season and they win. And then they got to buy their own rings. I just thought I was like, if I'm Clovis, like not even Fonzie, because has not even directed at Coach Fonz.
No.
Like Clovis Unified should take care of their teams.
Yes.
They win a lot. Well, that's what you want, right? I don't know. I don't know. I know football, it probably gets expensive to buy rings. You got, 50, 60, 70 people? For us, I can tell you that we ordered 30, and we're not spending more than $5,000.
And they're legit, by the way.
Yeah,
They're not. They don't look like some rings we've seen out there that are just like,
no,
that should go back.
Definitely no more than $6,000
Yeah.
for 30 rings.
Well, I mean, you're under $200 a kid easily.
So I can tell you that we've purchased multiple sets of uniforms for just a little more than that.
Oh yeah.
So for $6,000, I don't know. I just thought that was weird. I was just kind of surprised.
I mean, especially when districts have money. They have money. They have money to spend on other things. And I'm not saying sports is like the most important thing in the world, but let's be honest. Sports is what keeps schools going. And I mean, I'm sorry. Like, nobody goes to watch somebody take a math test.
Well,
right.
And I mean, like winning has, let's be real, winning has brought guys to these other programs.
Well, not only that, sports brings the money to the school.
Yeah.
People pay to go watch sporting events. They don't pay to go watch.
Well, and so like their gate
a teacher
during the track is probably pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah. You make money on that.
You make money. Take some of that snack bar. Take some of that. You know what I mean? I don't know what they do with the snack bar or whatever, but there should be a way to at least, even if you don't pay for all of it, something. A kid shouldn't have to pay for a full price ring, because then they're probably not going to get the premier ring that they probably want. I don't know. I'm just saying it.
The rings cost roughly.
And there was a Clovis parent that commented on it.
Yes.
So that made me believe that Clovis didn't have to buy theirs in 20 or 19.
Right, but
that made me believe that some like either fundraising or something.
Yes, Clovis. It sounded like Clovis High School
took care of it.
The baseball program took care of it. Whereas, again, talking with Andy, we would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I basically just told him, just send it to me. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it going. We'll figure it out after the fact. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
They're not paying for rings. Period. Yeah. And as long as I'm around Madera baseball, they won't.
And people might say this too, Madera, Clovis, they probably can't afford rings. The Clovis schools can. That's not the point.
No,
that doesn't mean anything.
No,
I don't care if it was the richest school in the state that won a championship and they could buy the biggest fucking ring that, $1 million or whatever, or Super Bowl rings. That's not the point. The point is that as a school or a district, you put so much pressure on these teams to win. Let's be honest. You put pressure on these coaches, and they have to win. You have to win when you go to the track schools. And if they don't win, you're gone. So you put so much pressure on them winning, and then they do, and then you don't even take care of anything.
Well, how big of an accomplishment is it at that point? Like, yeah, it's a big deal to the coaches and players, right? And yeah, this is such a big deal. Like, yeah, we need to take care of this.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, right?
And we had somebody out there, and I'm not trying to knock him or anything, but they said we bought the Valley ring or the championship ring instead of a class ring. Well, that is not even equal. Like,
I would take the championship ring all day long.
Yeah, I didn't get a class ring because I had a Letterman jacket because I was a jock, and that's what you got. You got a Letterman jacket. You didn't get a class ring. Class rings were for the normal students. I'm saying that in a bad term, but that's just the way it was. I'm sorry. You earned a Letterman jacket playing a varsity sport. You got a class ring to recognize you went to the school. I wasn't going to get a class ring. What do I need a class ring for? I got a fucking Letterman jacket with all my patches on it, So, but again, in that situation, they still shouldn't have to buy their rings either. That's just how we feel. That's our opinion.
Yeah. It'll never change, by the way.
No, it'll never change. We just feel like the
way.
Sacrifice kids make to play the sport and be a student athlete, and then they ultimately win the biggest accomplishment they can, they should be rewarded for that.
Yes. Yeah, and like I said, we weren't going to allow it. It just wasn't going to happen. We would figure it out. And there's enough people around here that were willing to help if we needed that.
Like they did in 13.
Yes.
We had two donors, big-time donors, and remain nameless. We thanked them a lot, trust me, with how much money they put in for the 13 team. And then we went out and did a little fundraiser, for ourselves to get the rest of the money. So we did what we had to make the kids feel special.
Yeah, and I don't think
it's more special, I think.
Since we've won, I haven't even heard any pushback. Like, it was just like it was a done deal. Like, just send us what we need to do. Yeah. And so, yeah, I just was kind of surprised. That's all. That just kind of threw me for a minute there. I just felt like that was.
And I'm sorry. I feel sorry for the kids and parents that have to pay for them. I really do.
I bet you all of them, because I also had a comment regarding the CIF doesn't allow that, which is not true. But like to the CIF,
why do you care?
Well, not only that, like we won.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We had 15 hats and 15 medals to give our players out of 23. I actually wouldn't mind asking Buchanan, did all the players did they all get hats and medals?
And coaching staff?
Because Andy was the only coach that got a hat. Yeah, they had 15 of each.
That's ridiculous.
Our athletic director had to get more ordered. I don't know if that's a common thing, and maybe it is. I just felt like...
I know we had extras in 13.
Did you?
Yeah. Hats.
I just felt like that was a little odd, too. Right? 15?
They're about making money, not spending it.
Facts. The other thing that you posted was the catching.
Mm-hmm.
And that got more of a pushback from people kind of everywhere, not just local, regarding the one knee. And we weren't technically asking. It was more a rhetorical question.
Yeah, we kind of knew the answers to that. We wanted to get some crap going on.
Yeah, it was goal accomplished. The point was of course that kid can catch that ball in a traditional stance.
Yes.
And get the strike call.
Yes. Now, can you get lower on a one knee? Yes, you can. Is it way more effective? I guess it depends on who you are as a catcher and how you like it. Our main, discussion with that is with runners on base and especially runners on third, what is so hard about being in traditional stance and being more athletic? Being able to block balls easier. That's our main concern. We see this at the highest level possible, which is the big leagues, which is the best of the best at their sport, at their position. And we see it constantly, them missing balls in the dirt by blocking, whether they're glove blocking or even trying to get their body in front of it. We see it all the time. So why would we be teaching that to our younger generation or the younger kids when even the best of the best have a hard time doing that? And I know the guys are throwing 99 to 100 miles an hour. I get that. But then why wouldn't you give yourself an advantage to block that ball? And the catching guy, which we respect totally, and he's, he does what he does. And he said, about the stats or whatever and the analytics. Well, then we asked, can we see them? If you show me the stats and analytics or, the information,
the numbers that prove it's better,
I will shut up.
Although I will say this, he didn't say either or.
No, he didn't.
He said if a kid is comfortable one way, then stick with that way.
And I agree with that.
Which most guys, especially now, and guru guys, they're not that way. It's one way.
Yeah.
Right? And he was like, no. Listen, if they're not a comfortable one knee guy, they don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's not for them.
I just feel like it just brings more of a lazy factor. Even with nobody on base. You're comfortable.
And I sent you two pictures, right?
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of a kid receiving balls on one knee with his foot. He was sitting on his foot. His chest was straight up, right? And his front knee was basically in front of him, chest high. Mm-hmm. To me, they're the most unathletic you could be.
Yeah.
And then I sent you another picture, and both of them had received the balls. The other picture was a guy on one knee with his chest out, maybe equal to where his knee was.
More at an angle, chest angled, yeah.
But in a position to where he can move and was mobile. So why are we not teaching that one way the whole time? I don't understand why there was two different ways to catch on one knee. And we'll put it right here. You can see what I was talking about.
Yeah.
One kid's catching, sitting on his foot. And the other guy actually looks like he can and move. And then the clip, he does. He's got good mobility for it. And when I saw more professional guys doing it, there's some guys that are freaking athletic that look good catching on. They could do it. Mm-hmm. I would probably never. It's one of those where if that's comfortable for you, just go roll with it.
But you better block every damn ball.
Yes, you better block. 100%, yeah.
And that's my issue. I have an issue with that. Now, if you're going to do it, you better block every damn thing. But if you're going to do this glove blocking thing, which I hate, because I was always taught. My dad was a catcher, learned from Bob Bennett, old school. I was a catcher growing up. I don't care if you're catching warm-up pitches. You block everything in the dirt. That is your job. Your job is to catch and block and throw. That is a catcher's job. If you're not going to do that, then you shouldn't be catching. So even with nobody on base, scouts, and you don't think they look and see how you block, even when it's not even important at that time? Because if you're going to block a ball with nobody on, you're damn sure going to block a ball with somebody on third base.
Right.
But if you're going to be lazy and try to glove block with nobody on, you're probably going to do that same damn thing.
Creating a bad habit.
Exactly.
And the thing with the strike stuff, again, how many strikes are you actually stealing in a game? Be honest.
Less than 5.
Less than 5, right? Is it really worth it?
And the umpires are over 90%.
What is the decision? What is the deciding factor in who wins and who loses?
Runs.
So we can't let guys advance bases. So if there's a runner at first, we got to block the ball to keep him from getting to second base.
Yeah, we got to be in a good throwing position.
Or control the running game.
Yeah. Because to
steal
5 steals, that's not going to dictate the game.
So what does the pitcher rather have? Would the pitcher rather maybe get a borderline ball or the tying run score from third base because you didn't block it. He'd probably just go back and I'll take whatever. That's a ball.
Yeah. I'll take a walk.
Right. But you're going to, not the tying run scoring from third base.
No.
I would be in your face.
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, I know. And that's the issue. Don't get me wrong. I don't care if you're a one knee guy, but you better damn well block the damn ball like you're supposed to. And you better be athletic enough to get up and throw the ball like you should. You know, that's my thing. And if you aren't doing it, then you're not going to do it. Go back to traditional. Be wider, be more athletic, be more in your hips and mobile, you know?
But I appreciate all the...
the feedback's great.
And the commentary was great. And there was some things in there, you know, like Chad said, that just show me the numbers. Because the numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
So we never saw it. That's all. We never saw the numbers. We're going to close this episode talking about the change. It's been a couple weeks, but the change the CIF made to our area's baseball postseason. And basically determining who goes where at the end of the year or when they go to do seeding. And Division I, they're going to seed the top 8. And then 9 through 24, was it? Will go Division II. And then so on all the way down to, I guess, I don't know how many.
84?
Division
81?
7? There's 6 right now.
Well, there's going to be 8, and there's going to be 16, 16, 16, 16. So why is Division I 8? Why is it 8 instead of 16? Because this is what we've been talking about, even with James Patrick, Coach James Patrick, about the seeding thing. Still do 16, but at the end is when who's the top 16? Do that. You know, they're doing that now where it's like, oh, who's the top 8? We'll just do the top 16.
Yeah, why
you have 16 in every other division.
Yeah,
why don't you have 16 in the Division I?
Yeah, I don't know why that had to change.
That shouldn't change, but yeah, it shouldn't matter your division on where you get seeded in the playoffs. I do agree with that, but the 8 is kind of,
it's on CV or SenCal Preps. One of the members there had made a great post about how it's going to work and what this year would have looked like, and brought up some good points. If you're an 8 seed or 9 seed, or you're projected anyways, like, what do you do? And is winning a Division II title, it's not winning Division I, but is it looked down upon?
I think it is for certain conferences.
Like if Clovis High 2 years ago they would not be in the top 8.
No.
And they ended up winning Division I.
Mm-hmm. So
they would have won a Division II title. I can tell you, I don't care. We won a D2 section title this year, but we had no other. This is all we could win. So I shouldn't be looked down upon. We won this is the furthest we could go other than winning state. And we won it. Mm-hmm. So there's no reason to look down upon it. With this, it's different. I even saw one post where somebody had Clovis East in Division III. How's that possible? If strength of schedule matters, there's not many D3 teams that are going to hang in the track.
Yeah.
So you can't look at just record, right? The schedule has to matter. Mm-hmm. Our record sucked this year. We were a 500 team, but we played 13, 14 Division. Half our schedule was D1. How many Division II teams had that big a schedule with Division I opponents? Mm-hmm. So yeah, our record wasn't great. So what strength of schedule, I think, has got to be a big factor. Not just like record is, I don't know. How do you feel about when you say that stuff? Because record's deceiving.
I feel like your strength of schedule better be really damn good if you're not going to go off your record.
If record is going to be that big, so like for you, then you need to earn your way in.
But that's why I don't like
we're a 500 school,
but I don't like the 16. I'd rather go 8, 8, and 8, and
I'm just even talking about getting in.
Yeah,
like we're a 500 school this year. We were right there, but let's say we were a game under. But with our schedule, if we played more Division 2, 3 games, maybe we'd have been 4 or 5 games over 500.
Yeah.
We played 13 or 14 Division 1 games, and we won a couple.
See, and that's where
So if we were one game
you're
under
a Division
5,
two team, so that makes more sense to you. Okay, you had 14 games against Division One. Let's take those. How many wins did you have? Okay, 4. Let's just say. I'm just saying.
I don't think it was 4.
You know what I mean? Okay, so you had 4 Division One wins. Now you played what? How many Division Two games?
4, whatever.
Another 14.
Lower division was 14.
Yeah, another 14.
28 total.
How many wins do you have against D2, D3 teams? Okay, so let's take. All right, you had 10. You lost 4 games, so you're going to be this seed in Division Two. That makes a lot of sense. What you just with all that, but the way they're saying this is going to go, there is no divisions yet. So like if Madera goes, say Madera plays all Division Two teams, not one Division One team, but you're undefeated. Are they going to put you in the Division One playoffs, the top 8 teams?
Strength of schedule.
So that's why this doesn't make sense.
And does anybody lay back to go Division 2?
I'll tell you what, Clovis Unified would be very pissed off they got Clovis schools in Division 2.
Could happen. Top 8. You're going to have a good Stockdale teams.
That's why I'd rather go
Centennial
I'd rather
teams.
go 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. If you don't make it, you don't make it.
Like this year, with Arroyo's schedule, or with Arroyo's record, would they have been Division 1?
Right.
Or they've been borderline D2, D1?
Yeah.
You know, LD was pretty damn good. Would they have been a D1 team?
Yeah.
They won that league.
But then what do you do for like Fresno High that runs through the NYL?
I mean, again, it's strength of schedule.
Yeah. That has
Like
to
now,
be a
but now
factor.
you're going to have Fresno.
Well, what does college do? RPI. Right?
Yeah. I think they should have left at the 16. Even that's fine, and make that top 8 for everybody then.
Yeah.
Make you have to earn your way into the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to the top 2 in your league or whatever. You know what I mean? You have to earn your way in somehow, however we figure it out.
Well, that's tough for you too because you have Bullard and Memorial in there, which Bullard and Memorial shouldn't be in the CMAC.
And again, so moving into the SEC, inviting Texas and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
You posted again, the track should invite Bullard and Memorial. And again, it goes back to your stance on we should be in our leagues divvied up into the sport that they're in.
Yes.
So like baseball, the Memorial should compete in the track.
Bullard should
be in the track. In baseball.
And football, they both should.
Sure, I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
That's where you stand on that.
100%. I think it.
Now with the SEC taking 2 teams from the Big 12, who do you replace? I've seen Boise State fill in. I've seen Colorado fit a model. And if you're pulling teams from the Pac-12, you got to fill the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
Does Fresno State fit in that mold?
No.
You don't think so? I mean, just being Pac-12 alone doesn't help recruiting.
Oh, it would for sure.
Maybe it. I mean, they're going to take their hits, but look at Oregon State. They're getting beat up every year.
True. See, and then there I went. I just went off of football,
and
you know, so
Colorado's struggled.
Yeah.
You know, Arizona hasn't been great. SC hasn't been like how many?
You're right.
How many Pac-12 teams have a real legitimate shot? I mean, Oregon's there. Arizona State was good a year ago. Like UCLA's gotten beat up. So if you take a Colorado, you know, what does the Big 12 do and what does the Pac-12 do?
Yeah.
You know, do you pull a team like BYU?
Yeah, because I mean, Fresno State's a mid-major that has competed with top-notch programs, so it would do better for their recruiting and get better recruits in to compete at that level. And you're right; they would probably do fine. They would probably, for the first couple of years, be in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, they're going to take their lumps early.
Yeah,
but once they catch up recruiting-wise, you know, and facility-wise,
how many guys from our area would stay?
Probably more.
If Fresno State was in the Pac-12,
you're a Power 5 now. I don't even know if that's just complete hypothetical.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but I just thought it was an interesting.
We just took the SEC thing and ran with it,
right? But you're gonna have to see, you know, and I'm sure the Big Ten doesn't like that. But you know, the SEC is the end all be all right now.
Yeah.
So now they didn't get invited, right? They're going. Is this done? I haven't even
2025.
2025. So there's going to be some decisions to make for both conferences.
Yeah.
You can probably see some Pac-12 leave. At least one. I bet you one does go.
I don't know. Oregon might. They might take the best team, which would be Oregon. You know, maybe Stanford.
Yeah.
I could see Stanford playing the Big 12.
Yeah, I haven't read up enough to know.
But then you got to be like travel restrict. You know, traveling West Coast, you know, Midwest, all that kind of stuff.
Well, and that's why I thought in Colorado's kind of.
Yeah, and Colorado's been in the Big 12 before. I think they were in the Big 12 a long time
sure.
ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because Nebraska used to be in the Big 12.
Yeah, I haven't
I think
seen.
Missouri was somewhere.
I've only seen a
Pac-10 or
couple
something.
things of as it was happening or being talked about, what some of the changes they might make. But I'm just more interested in how it affects the West Coast, maybe the Pac-12, and potentially Fresno State.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, dude. That'd be sweet to see.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do early, and again, the facility itself.
I think it would hurt more in football early. I think baseball,
Yeah.
they'd compete.
They can manage.
Yeah. I think basketball, they'd compete. Football is football. It's grueling. It's, you know,
it's a
matters
process.
having 6'5", 340-pound linemen compared to, you know, a 6'2", 275-pound lineman.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd see baseball probably do even better.
Maybe.
Like they already do a good job, right? They're already successful now.
Yeah.
Now put them in a Power 5. I don't know. I think they do even better. It's kind of like Bakersfield being in the Big West now.
Yeah.
I think as far as baseball, they're going to see some massive improvement, I think,
Yeah.
just in the recruits that they're going to get, just for being in that conference. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes too. But I just thought that was interesting to bring out and throw out there. Again, if anybody's got any comments for us, please let us know. Thank you to everybody that listens to the show, the top 50. We love that. It's huge for us. The 50 states, it's a big deal. So thank you. Please go subscribe on YouTube here and go follow the podcast, Twitter and Instagram at HIT.OR.DIE, and also get the show on Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify. Be sure to follow and subscribe there. Also, another big show coming out next week. We're going to have a short clip, an update with a minor leaguer coming out here the next day or so.
It'll probably be out before this.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. Just more stuff rolling, man. We're going to keep on going. So thank you all. We'll see you next week on the HIT.OR.DIE podcast.
HIT or die.